Hey, and welcome to day 8. You can see on the left here I've got a little envelope that I've unfolded, or just an original envelope that I got with the card, and I unfolded it so that I could trace around it, and my plan was to use that one. However, it is too big for what my project is. So I've cut out a little square, so you can see there, rectangle actually, and I'm using that as the middle of the envelope, and I'm just going to use the shape of the original envelope template as a guide to just make an envelope template that is small enough for my project. Now, you can definitely do it this way or grab a template offline. I couldn't be bothered setting up my printer, which is not that hard, but to actually print something out. So instead, I just drew it and it worked anyway. So as long as I did try to draw it without the rectangle in, like just to freehand the rectangle, and it worked out so wobbly and gross looking that I realized that you needed to draw a triangle and then you need to draw the edges and then cut them. So you can see there's my little template, and I'm just going to fold it to make sure that it works before I start cutting out a million envelopes, because that would be a bit crazy. So just trimming up this edge here, you can see that it was overlapping, and it was as simple as that. So there's my big one, smaller one, and then I'm just going to cut out a pile of smaller envelopes with the paper that I'm going to pull out of this paper pad. So, sorry, not yet, I'm not. So my idea was, I've got a little collection here that I'm going to package up for Corinne, and my idea here was to use this 12 by 12 cardstock, fold it in roughly in thirds, so you can see it's not fully, so that you can see the opening, and that way the goodies are going to be hidden on the inside. So mostly I've packaged up the collection, but I have added a couple of extra goodies from my stash, and you can see I really badly folded that because you could see the top of the edge there, but that's okay. Fix it up, bone folder to the rescue, and that's as simple as that. I've got a little envelope now, a little package, and now I'm going to make all these envelopes to stick on the inside. So I'm just measuring roughly how many I'd need. So realizing that I really can't put them on that left hand edge because they're not going to be able to fold in on each other. And I'm just going through this paper bag here and pulling out some papers that match. Now they don't match the collection as such. The collection is pink. It's Princess, what is it called? Penelope by My Mind's Eye. And seeing as Corinne has two little girls, two little princesses, I thought it went so well. Now I'm just pulling out some of these, the coral, the pink, and the yellow. Actually, at this stage, I don't think I realized I was going to do the Penelope collection. I thought I was just going to add some random goodies, and that's why I've gone with this color code, but that's okay because it works out in the end really nicely. So you can see it's as simple as tracing that. I'm showing you just one, and then I'll skip through the power of editing and they'll all be done. So just fussy cut it out. I don't know that you could really call it fussy cutting out. It's not very fussy, it's just cutting it out. And you can see it makes the template, and then you fold it and you have an envelope. Obviously you do need to tape the sides down, at least this bottom flap to those side flaps. Just one piece of tape and you're done. Cute little envelope. And obviously my cutting or my template weren't that spectacular, but that's okay. It's easy to fix up those little cuts on the edge. Ta-da! So coming back, and I'm just sticking them all down. So I sort of did the bulk. I bulk cut them, then I bulk folded. Now I'm bulk sticky taping the bottoms down. And I'm just going to work out how. So I wanted them so you could see the cuteness of the pattern paper, but realised that you couldn't open them. So they need to be this way, which is fine. You still see lots of the cuteness. But it was just not what I was thinking when I put it together, when obviously I didn't think it through very well. But that's okay. It's only double-sided tape. If Corinne was very careful, she possibly could pull off these envelopes. So I'm just sticking all these down. In fact, I do pull some off. So they are capable. I don't know if it's capable when they've been sticking for a while. So you can see that these are very cute. The colours go well together and they close. And I'm going to start filling it. Now this is where I'm thinking about what I want to fill it with. So I am going to grab that Penelope kit. Now I've got the 12 by 12 paper pack, which has the papers and a sticker sheet. And then I've got the ephemera, and I believe that's it. Now the ephemera pack is quite full. Oh, and I also picked this sequin mix that I thought went with it so well. So I do cut off that little bit of the tag label edge, whatever you want to call it, and I stick it in there, and voila, one pocket is full. Simple as that. So now I'm going to sort through these, and I'm going to start filling some of the other envelopes. So you can see there's a range of pieces, range of sizes as well. So I'm just going to, what on earth? Just going to put all these little gold pieces down in the bottom. Actually, not just gold, any of the smaller pieces. And I'm separating flowers because I realized quite quickly that there was a fair few flowers. I'm putting the words up the top and bigger things to the side there to see what I want to do. But if they're reasonable size, normal sized, I put them in my hand. And you can see I've realized that there's these little cards as well. So I'm just sorting through, same as what I do when I get any collection ephemera from the kits. So I realised there's these girls. I put them over there because I thought maybe they could go on that left-hand side. Now, all the smaller pieces in there. And I'm putting all the flowers in here originally, but then I do move them so that it could fold properly. I wasn't able to arrange them in the envelope so that it closed properly. When I put them up here, I am able to fit them all in and just fold the envelope a little bit taller, and you can't even tell. So in goes all these other little pieces, and I realize these cute little girls will fit along here, just separating them so that they look pretty to the eye, or prettier because they're already pretty. And I'm just adding double-sided tape because double-sided tape comes off much easier than, no, I'm adding foam tape, double-sided foam tape. Double-sided foam tape comes off much easier than normal double-sided tape. And I was going to put all these cards together because they're cute. I don't know how they're going to be used as ephemera, maybe as a bulk filler piece. And I'm going to stick them in here, and I'm just going to fold this envelope so that you can see the orange, not the white. Well, you can't really see it, but if it does slip and you can see it on the edges there, in the corners, it's better to see the green than some boring white. So you can see those three middle envelopes are full now. The left-hand side is full with those girls, and I'm just trying to work out how to put in these cute words. Taking off that envelope, you've seen how quickly it was able to take it off with the double-sided tape. And I'm going to use one of these cellophane bags. Now these are just packaging bags that I got from the cheap dollar shop. And what I do is I fold it down and thinking that it would fit, but it's actually too wide. So what I end up doing is moving them all carefully to the side. You have to make sure that they're up the right way because of the sticky tape on the packaging. So making them all go to one side so that I could cut down the bag in width and then fold it so that you can still access the goodies, but also then it fits. Unfortunately, I was quite silly and did it off screen, but instead I cut that off and cut the side, and then I was able to fold down the top again. You do see it when I do the next bag, which replaces that yellow flower envelope up the top. You do see it a bit better than what I just did then. So I'm just going to double side that side piece down, and then just going to sticky tape it straight to the blue envelope, I guess is what you can call it. It's not really called an envelope, maybe a folder. Let's call it the blue goodness a folder. Oh yes, washing machine. Have a conniption, why don't you? Just having a play, just colouring. It's the small things that bug me sometimes. Then of course there was more little pieces that I found. Now I'm trying to work out all these huge pieces, what I can do. Now I pull out some of the smaller ones because they're inbuilt in the pieces. But there's still quite a few big ones that I need to be able to put somewhere because they are gorgeous and the collection goes so well together, obviously, because it's a collection, but I don't want to ruin any of the pieces. They're not going to fit in an envelope. They're probably not going to fit in that top there where the yellow is, the yellow envelope, but I need a plan of attack. So just fiddling around with all those pieces to make sure they're in the right spot. And just lining these up as best as I can. One, so they look nice, but also so they're not the widest possible. I want them to be as thin as they can, all stacked together. And you can see here I realised that they don't really fit on there. Instead, I'm going to reuse this packaging because I know they fit in there. So in it goes. Not very easily, but it does. And I'm just going to work out where to put it. I figured I'd just stick it in there like that. And I'm cutting off the word Penelope because I don't know. I guess you could read it on the paper pack. I can see that now in the background. One, it gives it a title for the folder. And two, it lets her know the name of the collection. And my plan is to stick that on the front and tie up the folder so that you open it and it's a beautiful package full of goodies, embellishments. So you can, I don't know if you're playing along at home, I know it's a bit hard to play along when I'm being a bit slow in uploading. Actually, it's not the editing that's taken me a long time, it's the voiceover. I've been working such long hours so pretty much as soon as I wake up and we're ready, I have children here, and then by the time they go home, it's, it's not really late. Some nights, like tonight, I will be working till 10 o'clock, but some nights most of the nights I am struggling to stay awake. Anyway, so that means that I'm not being able to voice over. So I can edit in the rest time, but I can't do voiceovers in rest time. But that's okay. We're getting there now, and that just means that you can binge watch a bit easier if anyone is enjoying and able to binge watch in this crazy season of Christmas. So just having a play around with where everything's going. I'll just add this Penelope to the front. I did try and put that flag underneath like you've seen before, but it was just too much and I didn't want to ruin it, and I wanted to keep it for Corinne to be able to use. So instead, what I'm going to do is that yellow section there, that yellow envelope, I'm going to fill with 3D goodness. So I've spared you all my decision making. So I've got all these flowers and bows and hearts over on the side here, and I'm just getting some enamel dots just to round off this goodness. My dog, the washing machine's already loud enough in the background of this voiceover. So yeah, just picking out all the pinks, all the beautiful shimmery glitterness, and a bit of gold. I think I even went for a bit of black. And that is going to round it off, and I'm going to chuck it in one of those plastic bags, and instead of that yellow envelope, another plastic bag of goodness is going to be there. So I was originally going to put it in that yellow envelope, which is why I haven't pulled it off yet, but then realised it's all going to fall out and it won't be very nice when she opens it. Instead, putting in the the clear cellophane bag means that it's pretty when she opens it and she can see all this cuteness looking out at her, crying to be used. I'm just going to fill up the bag, and you can see now this is where I resize the bag. So moving them all to the side, folding over that edge and working it all out. So I'm going to tape down that. I don't want to talk too much because if you're concentrating. And then I'm just going to fold the back there. So there is a neater way to do it with cutting off the plastic so there's no excess on it, and it's just a neat. But this one doesn't really call for it. I did do it with other projects. But this one didn't really need it. It's hidden behind the where the folder sticks to it anyway. So you can see I've gone from giving Corinne a 12 by 12 paper pack and an ephemera pack just to sitting by itself, which is still nice because it's something that she doesn't have and it's something she will use, to fancying it up a bit and making it more happy mail and cuteness, and adding a few goodies from my stash, those sequins and that 3D goodness. Just finishing it off with some crepe paper trim. I'm just going to fishtail the banner once I remember how to do it. And that's going to be it. There'll be a close-up of it. And this is day 8. So I hope you've enjoyed today's, and I hope some of these ideas are things that you might want to do. I am so happy with how things have turned out, other than I should have been editing in November. The only thing that is a bit sad is that it's coming towards Christmas, and that means we're not going to be able to make gifts for each other anymore, and we won't have any more to open. Both Corinne and I are going to miss that dearly. So anyway, I'm just fiddling around with this, and I'm going to stick it out the top there, and this is done. I'll catch you next time. Bye.